This is your pH controller. Let us try to understand various parts of controller. This has two tanks where pH buffer solutions are kept. pH 10 buffer solution, pH 4 buffer solution. Here two tanks are there. These are the storage tanks. Both are storage tanks. This is the tank where you can control the pH. pH 1, T1, pH 2, T2. Let us try to understand the flow configuration. There is a water supply through this point, through a flexible connection point. The water enters here and the flow rate can be measured. The water enters to T1, tank 1, where you have to control the pressure. This sensor will sense the pH as well as temperature of the tank number 1, whereas the solution, pH solution, will enter from tank number B1, where buffer solution is kept through this pipe and through the pumping system. Pump, and it will enter and mix with the incoming water supply. And here the flow rate of this pump will be controlled depending upon the pH and temperature of the tank number 1. Tank 1 can be drained through this valve, and the water, the solution, it may be drained to this tank. Then you have one more tank where you can control the pressure. The sensor is connected and the pump having pH buffer solution 4 supplies the solution at this point. Depending upon the pH and the temperature recorded for this tank, second tank, the pump will supply the solution of pH 4 from the buffer tank, buffer solution tank. So here in the control panel, as you know, this is the switch to on off. This is emergency switch. You can press it or release it to open. In case of emergency, you can press. Two pumps can be operated. Pump number 1 to supply solution from buffer pH 10 to tank number 1. So pump 1 can be operated to control the pH from 7 to 10, whereas pump 2, it will be operated when you are controlling the pH of the second tank. Written here pH 2, T2, or you can operate both. The panel also displays the pH value, the measured pH value, pH 1, T1 of the tank number 1, and pH 2, T2 of tank number 2. If you are controlling this one, you can write the set point value here by selecting set point and automatic operation. The first one M is for manual operation, the lower one is for automatic control option. So the light of automatic control action should blink when you are selecting the automatic control. If it goes to manual, so you have to manually adjust. If it is out of range of the automatic control, then the light will blink for the manual control action. So then you have to manipulate the flow rates of the tanks or drain some liquid from the solution tanks to control it. This is the process instrumentation diagram. B3, B1 of pH10, B2 of pH4, and B3 is the drain tank. Water supply through a valve. There is a valve you can adjust manually. Here, this one, the flow you can adjust manually. Manual valve then goes to the rotameter or variable area flow meter. Then it enters in the mixing with B1 tank, which has pH 10. There is pump. The pump will supply and mix it in the tank pH 1, T1. There is a sensor which will sense the pH of this tank. Similarly, then it goes to the second mixing point. From B2, pH 4, it is shown red, it is acidic. Through the pump it will flow and mix with the first tank and goes to the second tank, where again pH is measured and then it is given the input to the pH controller. The pH controller will adjust the flow rate of tank B2. So here you see through the pH controller the flow rate of B2 is adjusted. If you are operating both the tanks, the pH controller will command the pump B2 to supply acidic solution and mix it. So when you are controlling the pH of this tank, then the controller will command the pump P2 from the tank, acidic tank pH 4, to adjust the flow rate.